Hey, what's going on, guys? Bloods White Guys here again. I'm Horizon, and today's video I'm going to be doing an update on my Draco Invoked Spellbook deck profile. The new Banlist came out, and I changed the deck around just a little bit. From the last video, I actually did end up playing the 3-set rotation in the Oracle, and I think I added in like 2 more Mariamne, and the deck performed really well. I really enjoyed it, and then the Banlist came along, and it hit set rotation 1, which kind of made me sad because it was a really good card, but it did give me more room to play some other stuff. So let's go ahead and get started with this deck profile. So for the main deck, I play double Masterpiece, pretty standard, and then I play triple Mariamne because Mariamne is insane. You pop it with Diagram, and then you get your spell, and you get a Masterpiece to hand, and it's really good. Like, I want to see this in my opening hand. It's insane. It really is just an amazing card. I don't know why I was playing that one in the last deck profile. And then I also play the one Majesty Maiden. Not really sure how I feel about this. I probably would cut it for another hand trap, but I'll explain that later. The reason why I don't play like Ignis or any more of the smaller ones is just because, like, most of the time I'm popping Mariamne with Diagram, and I'll tribute over Alistair and a spell for Masterpiece, so there's really no other point to run the smaller ones. Like, I just see no point at all. Then I play 3 Alistair. Playing any less than 3 I feel is incorrect. Like, you want to see this in your opening hand. If you don't see this and you want to see your Magical Meltdown, I don't understand why people play less than 3. Like, if you play 2, I don't know why you're playing the deck. It's horrible. Like, you want to see this in your opening hand. And then for the other spellcaster, I play the one Spellbook of Prophecy just for the Spellbook engine. For hand traps, I run 7 hand traps. I'll explain this a little bit. So I'll run 2 Ash, 2 Ogre, 2 Droll Lock, and then, of course, the 1 Maxi. So the reason why I run 2 of each is because, 1, I can't find room to play 3 of any other ones, and then 2, I don't have the funds to play triple Ash and triple Droll Lock. Droll Lock and a Ghost Ogre are, more affordable than Ash, but if I had to change it up, I would probably play 3 of each one of them. Like, we're in such a hand trap heavy format to where, like, all of these are just so good. I would love to play 3 of all of them. I don't know what I would cut, but if I could, I would play 3 of every one of them. They're just really good. And that is it for the monsters. For spells, I'll play the triple Diagram and the double Magical Meltdown, excuse me. Diagram at 3, self-explanatory. Magical Meltdown. I don't want to play it at 3, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to play at 3, but I want to see it, if that makes sense. And then to search all of them, of course, I run the triple Terraforming. I don't run the 1 set rotation. I just don't feel like there's a need to run it. I mean, you could if you really wanted to. I mean, you could just search for a Diagram and get in the Meltdown. It just kind of helps extend your plays. You don't really get to use it as you would in the last format. And then I play double Invocation. I don't really know how I feel about playing any less than 2. You could play 1. I don't know. I just feel like this deck it's like a grind heavy deck. Like, I don't play it as in, like, I just want to stomp my opponent, because most of the time in this format now that is not going to happen. So, if you can just grind out your opponent longer and have more resources, just in case, like, one of your invocation gets banished, or just something like that, it's always nice to have 2, just in case you can't shuffle back the other one. For the Draco spells, I play 3 and 2 standard. I thought about cutting 1 Heritage. I usually side one of them out. I just don't use them as much as I would if I'd played, like, the Demise Draco deck just because of how little of a Draco engine I play now. They're just still good to have for draw power. Like, that's mainly one reason why I still play the standard 3 and 2. I might cut it down to 2 and 2, because I do usually side out one heritage. But I mean, again, they're still good. I don't think I would play one of each. For the Spellbook engine, I play 2 and 2, 2 knowledge and 2 secrets. There's really no need to play more than 2 of this card, I feel. I usually side out 1 secrets depending on the matchup. It's just your draw power. Just amazing cards to draw 2. Just really good. And plus you can use knowledge with Alistair. So you do run 4 spellcasters in this deck. For the Draco spells, I play 2 Apocalypse and unfortunately the 1 Return. They're still really good. The effects of them are still really good. You still get to tribute over them. Pop a monster, you still can tribute on your opponent's on your opponent's phase, and still get to disrupt their play. So I feel like this ratio is really good. And then for the rest of the traps, I play the Solemn Brigade, which is the triple strike, and then the 1 warning. Whenever the set rotation got limited to 1, I just took out the set rotation, the Oracle, and threw in triple strike and 1 warning. Sometimes I depending on the matchup, I'll side out 1 strike, so 2 could be enough. I just like having 3. I like seeing it. Strike is super good. I mean, it's still good against Spiral. You can strike their quick fix. You can strike whatever. It's really good against Pendulum. Let's say they pin summon 5, and you can just strike it, and then all of them are gone. It's still a really good card. It still helps disrupt plays and keep your opponent from going into too much of a big board. I'll go into extra deck next. For extra deck, I play the double Mechaba. Sometimes I feel like 3 would be better. I just don't go into too often in like my matchups. If I do, it's like a really long grind game. But Mechaba, I mean, everybody knows what Mechaba does. It's in the same card. It's really good. Then I play the double Purgatrio. It just helps OTK, and it just helps push out damage on board. The double Wind, still just an amazing card. Just Book of Moon. Most of the time, I see myself, if I can't get out of Mechaba, like most of the time, I'll end up with a Masterpiece and a Raijin on board, and then like hand traps in hand, which is probably my favorite board of all time. For the 1 of Invoked monsters, I play the 1 Invoked Kaliga. This card's actually really good. It helps put pressure on like Pendulum players. It helps on BA. It's just like an overall really good card. You can make this, and then like next turn, if they don't end up getting over it, you can go into like a rank 4 play. The next one I run is the 1 Cocytus. Another really good one of, I played 2 of them in the last deck profile, I believe. I cut it down to 1 because I ended up playing more Cherries targets. And then the next 2 are the 1 Earth and then the 1 Elysium. A lot of people actually don't play these 2. And if I had the Cherries targets that I wanted, I would actually cut these. But I mean, they're still really good. The Earth one helps get over like big beaters, like you can attack into like Chaos Max, you can get over Masterpiece with it, and then Elysium. I actually played against a Spiral player today, and I ended up like breaking most of his board and stopping most of it, and he made, I think he had like a Sleeper and then the Last Resort on the field. And he had already used the effects of Sleeper, so I made this and then banished the Sleeper and the Last Resort and attacked for game. So it was actually a pretty good play. This card like hardly ever comes up, but when it does, I mean, it's just like in the grind game. But I mean, I definitely probably would cut it. That's actually it for Invoked monsters. I played 1 Calamities and then the 1 Baguska. Both these cards are actually really good. You can actually make Calamities pretty easily with while playing the triple Mariamne, you can pop like the Majesty Maiden, or pop like a Regional Field, and you can pop a draw and lock. So you have a lot of win targets to actually get Mariamne out, and then to make Calamities. Calamities is just a really good card, and then Baguska is it's insane. It's probably my favorite rank 4 ever. Like it's just such a good card. It really is, and he comes up a lot actually. Especially if you make like Kaliga, then again you normal summon your Alistair next turn, and then you can make Baguska. So it's a really good card. The next cards that I play are Cherries targets, and I play one Totally Awesome, one Crystal Wing, and then the one ABC Dragon Buster. If I had a double Helix and a Firewall and probably a Dante, I would cut the Crystal Wing for a Firewall, and then cut the Earth and then the Elysium Invoke monsters for the double Helix and Dante. So if I had these as proxies, let's say I would play a Totally Awesome ABC Dragon Buster, Firewall, double Helix, and then a Dante, and that would be my Cherries targets. I would cut the Crystal Wing and then these two. I just feel like these are just not as good. Again, like I said, they help in the grind game, and the Crystal Wing, like, nobody plays Wind Witch anymore. The deck's trash. No offense to people that play Wind Witch, but it's literally terrible. That is actually it for the extra deck. For the side deck, it's always up to personal preference. You can play whatever you want, but I'll show you guys what I side. Double Cherries, this should be triple Cherries. Once I get the Firewall, double Helix, and Dante, I will probably get another Cherries. Cherries is just too good in this format. Like, it just stops everything. Like with ABC, if you Cherries or their Dragon Buster, they just play like a rank 4 toolbox, and it's easy to get over. If you play like whoever plays BA, if you play BA, get rid of their Dante, they just have like a rank 3 toolbox. And then in like a mirror match, if you're playing another Invoked deck, you can just Cherries whatever they're going to make. And Cherries is just a really strong card this format. The next two cards I play are Sticky String, because I don't have Gamma Seals. And then I play double Artifact Lancey. Lancey is actually extremely good against Invoked, because you can stop them from making their fusion monster. It's an overall really good card, and if your opponent's playing evenly matched, this is probably the next best thing to set rotation to counter evenly matched. Just an overall really good card. And then I play double Cosmic Cyclone, double System Downs for Cosmo and ABC, double D Barrier, and then triple Anti-Spell Fragrance, because I hate Pendulum. Pendulum is probably, since Spiral is just slowed down quite a bit, I feel like Pendulum is probably the next best deck. I just hate playing that deck. Like, it's really just, it's just really annoying. I hate Pendulum anyway, so if I get another Cherries, I would play another Cherries, but other than that, I really enjoy my side deck. It performs really well. I have cards that I can side deck out of my main deck, so it's not like I can't side deck anything more than 2 cards. So, yeah, overall, I really enjoy my side deck, and I really enjoy the cards I use to counter the meta decks. And that is actually it for this deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And as always, if you did, make sure you leave a like. And in the comments below, let me know what you think about the deck. Oh, I forgot to mention that I don't play Links, because I feel like Link monsters just take up too many resources. Playing the one Gofu, I ended up siding it out every single time. I played one in my last deck profile, and I just sided it out every time. Like, it never came up. And when it did, it was always bad. So I don't feel like Links are worth it at all. It just takes too many resources, and most of the time, you don't summon more than one invoked monster anyway. So just having a masterpiece and like a mecha buff or masterpiece and raging on board, I mean, you pretty much just can stop anything your opponent does anyway. Especially with the hand traps that I play, it just I would rather play more hand traps than play cards to make link monsters. There's just no point. It's too slow. But anyway, like I said, if you have any suggestions or questions down below, I will make sure and try to answer them as quick as I can. We should be doing a deck profile on Apocalypse's deck. He plays the same deck I do, but he plays like a little bit different version. He plays a few different cards and a few different techs in his. But again, like always, if you haven't already, click subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and click subscribe to stay up to date with all of our Yu-Gi-Oh content. I'm Horizon, and remember, believe in the heart of the cards.